Hello there, this is Sandhya and welcome to Dynamic Living. Hi guys, I hope you've been enjoying watching my videos over the last year. I have to say it's taken me some time to find my voice, and really there is no other rule other than practice, practice, practice. Now, besides all the insights that I've been sharing with you that I have learned over the years, one of the requests I often get is how I make my videos look good. And this comes even from the people that I coach who are seeing me on the other side of a Zoom call. And now, because Zoom is a reality and work from home looks like it's going to stay, here are my top 5 tips for how to make your Zoom video look good. Number 1 is the setup. I'm actually going to show you my room and tell you how I've picked my spot. So here we go. There is a window, but light can be good or bad. We're going to discuss that in just a moment. And if you see, there are spots here that have wires and seepage, a very messy desk at the moment, and stripes, big large stripes on the wall. So I have picked a corner which you might find familiar from some of my videos, and I've actually created a setup. If you see, I've deliberately used cushions with different colors. There is a plant on a stand. There is a pot in the background which actually covers the plug of my modem. And there are paintings and a lamp and a cupboard, all of which I use to create depth of field. The idea is that we literally look like a postage stamp on somewhere as a thumbnail, and the more that you can create items that are forward and back in space, it creates a sense of depth and it makes you more of a three-dimensional figure rather than just a moving picture. The next point is light. Ideally, you want to have your window in front of you. That way the light will fall on your face as opposed to coming from behind you where you're backlit and you will just look like a friendly neighborhood ghost and no one can really see your expression or what you're trying to say. But too much light can be not such a great thing, as the weekend has told us that lights can be blinding. So what you want is really some ambient light, a little bit of diffused light, and you're going to have to find it with trial and error depending on the time of day. And what you can also do is use a little bit of artificial light. You don't need to invest in any kind of fancy lights. I just use a table lamp. Especially the light is coming in from just one side. As you can see here, I've moved into better light and I've used a table lamp to light up the rest of my face. It's not perfectly adjusted for now, but again, perfection, overrated, but adjustment is more what I wanted to say. Now that we have our light under control, the next aspect I want to talk about is sound. So I'm going to move into my spot here, and I will say that we should be a little forgiving of ourselves for cooking noises, children noises, pet noises, doorbells ringing. I think in today's day and age, we've all realized that these things happen, and the people on the other side have become far more forgiving of these things. Don't try and control the things that you simply do not have control over. If you do have the luxury of a room to yourself, it does help if you close the doors and windows to cut out traffic noises if they are there. Bird noises travel very loudly over video for some reason. Also, if you draw the curtains, you'll have to rely on artificial light, but you can block out a lot of the sound. I have a carpet which also absorbs a lot of the noise. It sort of absorbs the echo and the tinniness of the sound. And nothing beats a good pair of Bluetooth earphones which will help you, especially if you're going to do like an Instagram or a portrait mode video where your phone is going to rest on a surface that sort of blocks out the mic and causes your voice to cut out. A pair of Bluetooth earphones or earpods will cut out ambient noise but will also capture your voice beautifully for whatever device you are on. In the absence of this, you could use wired earphones as well, just as well. I like to use things which are unobtrusive and really make it seem more like I'm having a conversation with a person rather than I'm communicating through some device. So that's it about the noise. It's all about making the best of the things that we have some control over and letting the rest of it be. My fourth tip is adjusting the height properly. Now that you've got your frame, literally just open a Zoom meeting, start a new meeting on your own, and look at the frame. And this will really give you a chance to adjust it such that your face is roughly in the center of the frame. You don't want to cut off the top of your head, because that puts like certain parts of your face into stark relief and again makes you look very unnatural. You see here now that my nose is a lot more prominent. If you tip your screen backwards, or if your phone is angled wrongly, you'll end up seeing a lot more of the underside of somebody's chin, the inside of their nose. Always a good idea to trim your nose hair and clean your nose. But also, depending on where it's positioned, do you see how unnatural this looks? And you really want people to focus on your golden words and your brilliant personality rather than bits of your anatomy. So always open up a Zoom meeting, adjust the frame. This is a good time to put wires out of sight, adjust your hair, and bring your plants into focus into that frame. And use always the device that you're actually going to be on, because the frame for a phone video is very different from a phone photograph. A Zoom video is very different from a phone video. So try and use the frame that you're actually going to use, the device that you're actually going to use. The only place that you can't probably try this is if you're going to do an Instagram live. But if you're going to be doing that, I'm guessing you're already some kind of expert, so you don't need my help for sure. So adjusting the height such that you are the focus of the frame, and having an attractive frame goes a long way. The last point I'll make is really about how you present yourself. I do have another video where I talked about how you can very quickly ready yourself in very practical ways for men and women for the camera, but it comes down to really how you'd like to present yourself. I think of it as a gift that you're giving to the person on the other side, and so it's worth making a little bit of an effort. One thing that you need to get used to is, especially if you have lights on your face, always handy to have a tissue to mop up any shine or oil or sweat on your face. I prefer to wear bright colors normally. Today I didn't have a client or a webinar, so I'm in gray, but otherwise the brighter the color that you have, the more that little postage stamp of you is going to stand out, and you'll get noticed when you're waving or whatever it might be. But that said, go with your personality. Like I said, present yourself professionally if you need to be, warmly. What you really want to communicate is that you're a human being in a very real environment, and that one day we will all meet in person. So as best as you can communicate that. And one last tip that I will add is, rather than looking at yourself on camera, on Zoom, for example, I never put gallery mode on because it's very distracting to see yourself talking. I like to focus on the person that's in front of me. If you can't see them, your best option then is to look straight at the camera, because then it will look like you're looking into their eyes. You can always tell when a person is watching themselves on the phone or on a laptop. So let's get used to the idea of seeing ourselves on camera and then get over it, put that by the side. I hope you enjoyed this video and these tips. I'd love to hear if you have any tips as well, and thank you for watching. Ooh, one last tip. I have this portable table that I bought online somewhere that I can move around anywhere I like, and this is my collection of boxes that I use of different heights to adjust my devices, my laptop, my phone. I actually use a phone holder from my car that broke off to do my Instagram lives, so that my phone is held upright. Works brilliantly for me. I sometimes just rest it on a device, and that's about it.